Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
It's 3 or 4 days later. We now need the mill. This has been sitting on the mill the whole time, and I haven't been using it. Now I need the mill, so I got to get this thing pretty much finished up so I can take the rotary table off and go on about my business. So we're going to come in after we kick the tripod. We're going to come in and just throw a couple of beads right there to get this thing to weld in place. And then later on, when we come and put our full plate in, which would be right here, it'll just sit on top of that and the weld will cover this up and then you won't even see it. So for right now, we're going to run a couple of beads. And we've got the ground going directly to a spacer plate that goes directly to the ring that goes directly to that. We've got the mill unplugged so that there's no feedback through the electrical system. And I think we're ready. I guess we better turn the machine on and get a couple of welding sticks. Alright, well, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and warm up our sticks. Yep. Just throw a couple of beads in there and kind of get the stick heated up because I wasn't prepared to do this. So we'll do that. And now we'll do this. Ready? Go. Alright, both rags have caught fire, but better that than get a bunch of dingle balls on my work. So that looks pretty good. We'll turn the welder off. Disconnect the ground. And we could probably chip this and see what it looks like. Yeah, looks pretty good. Got a decent weld in there. Now we're going to come off with the mill and square that up a bit. This is sitting just a little bit high on this. So we're going to bring that down. Well, actually, we're going to go this way and bring it down. And then also we're going to come in and take the excess of the circle off. So I'm thinking we'll do the circle first because that's going to be the coolest area, and that's reasonably cool. Alright, so we'll take this out. We're going to bring our mill up. And I'm doing it by hand because my new power feed went belly up on me. And of course the company said, oh, it's only a 30-day warranty. 30 days. 30 days. Is this America? My God. Okay. Oops, I think we better turn everything back on, hadn't we? Okay. That looks pretty good. Break our bind here. Nice and clean. We're all set on both sides. Now let's just skim the top. We're going to bring this back to 0. As soon as I can find 0. Okay, where's 0? Here we are. 0. And then we'll just take it sideways and we'll go back and forth and bring it over on this side and go back and forth. Hey, easy. So what I want to do first is let's bring our bit down to the level of the ring. And then we're going to come in and just catch the inside edge of this weld, just so that the platform can sit there. And then of course when we come back in to weld the platform, we're going to weld right over the top of that weld and it'll disappear. So let's bring it in. Okay, that's a done deal. We can take this whole setup apart, I think. Let's see, is there anything else? I don't think so. Oh, wait. No, there is something else. I think that comes in after we weld the thing in place. So let's just not worry about that. Well, I don't know. I gotta think about this. Okay, well, I'm thinking we're here. Why not just weld these things in and get them all set up before we move on? I mean, hey, the welder's in place. This is set up at 0 so I can get these squared up really perfectly. Why not? So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this over into an approximate 90 degrees with the table. And that's just about where it wants to be. Let's see, maybe we can come in just a little bit further. Yeah, something like that. We're going to come in and just throw a quick tack right there. Then we'll go back and forth on this and get this thing squared up. So, time to turn off the power again. There we go. All right, and get our ground. Turn our welder on, and let's see what we can do. Come on. Just a little tack. Did it even take? Yep, it took. It also rocked it up that way, which is not good. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Let's see if we can get it to come back down. Better, but not perfect. All right, so I think what we're going to do is let's take it sideways, drop this down. We're just going to use this as an indicator, the bit. Drop it down and bring it in and out. Okay, we're just a bit off. And we're still a bit off. And that looks pretty good. Let's see. Okay, just a bit more. And that looks pretty good, except we're twisted. So we're gonna have to figure out, I'm thinking maybe a toe clamp will get it to drop back down. So let's see what we can do about dropping a toe clamp in there. Yeah, it should work. I think we're back to level. Let's give it a try and see. Pretty good. About this way. Looks good. Alright, so now we want to check for squareness again because we may have kicked it off just a little bit. And again, we're just going to eyeball this one. And it moved a little bit. That might do it. No? Close enough. So we're down flat. Yep. Everybody looks happy. Let's go and throw another bead on this side. We'll see what we can come up with. All right, we ready? Not too bad. Let's chip it out. Let's do a second pass on that. Much better. Put out the fires. All right. Well, we don't really need to take that down. Let's just rotate this around. So we're going to go 120 degrees. Uh, 110, 120. Take it to 0. Lock it in place. And there's our next one. And it's going to go something like that. Trying to figure out a clamp for that. Okay, so we got number 2 in, and now we need to rotate another 120 degrees. That'd be 240. Somewhere in that general 230, there's 240. Take it to 0. 0 minutes, that is. And we've got one more to do. And that one more goes right there. And now we need to figure out how to get this thing clamped down. And what do we have here? Well, we might be able to get to it. Nice weld. Let's see what this side looks like. Pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more, I mean, just for fun. Put out the fires. And I think we have ourselves at least the next stage in this whole mess. And I think we'll see what we got. So here's what we need to do. The slider is going to go in here and come up, back up, and I want the slider to back all the way up to almost to the ring itself. So I have maximum opening. And if we're, and you know, I'm going to move you over so you can see. So the nut stops at the inner part of the circle here, so we need to kind of bring it in so that the nut comes in far enough that it's not going to affect the slider from sliding further. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure the nut. We're going to take it to 350 thousandths, and that's going to give us lots of clearance. Okay, so 350. So, oops, I think we might hit. No, we're not. Okay, so there we are. We're going to come down to our level as we'll go out. And we are sitting at 0, well, 240 for this one. So that's our level. Now we're going to drop down 350, or we're going to bring the table up 350, which is what I'm going to do. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 50. And that should give us what we need. So now we're just going to we're going to come in and just keep coming in and testing it with just physically testing it rather than measuring it, because it's going to be hard to get in there to measure. We're just going to come in until there's enough clearance, and then we'll know where that's at, and we'll rotate around and do the other one and turn it on. We're going to lock as much as we can, because this is going to be an inside cut and it's going to want to walk on me. So, all right, I just bumped you. There we go. Let's go on in. And I'm telling you, this poor old bit's just about worn out. And I would love to replace it, but I don't have another bit that size. At least I don't think. I'm going to go look again. Let's see what. All right, well, we found another bit, of all things. So, let's see if we can find the same height. Drop it down till it hits. Lock it in place. Bring it back out. And this bit is fairly new. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, much nicer. Looks pretty well centered. And let's bring it out as far as we can get it. Well, it looks like we got about a ½ inch more to go here. But that's no big deal. We got plenty of room up and down. Keep her going. All right, so we might be real close here. I'm thinking, maybe another 100,000. Let's do that. Okay. Drop it in there. Oh man, I think we're right there. I think we've got it. Let's try it out. Make sure we're back far enough. And I don't think we're back far enough. All right, let's take it a little further. Maybe another 100. Oh, that looks pretty good. I like that. Okay. Let's do our third one. And for our third one, what can we do here? Oh, yeah. I've got a quill DRO, so I can just bring it up and bring it around. Is it gonna make it? Oh, just barely. Just barely. Okay. This goes to 0. That looks pretty good. And we're going to bring our DRO down to 0. Lock it in place. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in and radius the inside of this part here so it doesn't get in the way of anything, and we're kind of in the process when we ran out of video space. So let's continue this process and see what we can do. All right, up. Oops. Not far enough up, huh? Okay, let's bring our table down by hand. I hate this. Come around. Catch the inside edge. That's good. I'm thinking we're going to need to move this this clamp. Okay, so we're pretty solid right there, so I think we can just rotate this clamp a little bit and maybe not. You know what, better thing is let's take this bit out, get a smaller bit, and then it'll reach. All right, I think that's gonna get what we're doing. Now we got one more operation to do.